Yeah, y'all see it. What's up, y'all, man? On my channel, man. I think I was talk to y'all today about really understanding. Oh, this is the enclosure. This is the enclosure for this is my new 4.8 enclosure. Yeah, with them babies. Yeah, them toroids. But you know what's funny, man? Watch this. Y'all gonna be in for something big. Watch this. Ooh, baby, you show. Ooh, Lord, girl. Look them squat. All right, then. Y'all see that? Y'all see? Look at that. Woohoo! Look how that grain. See how that grain popping like that? Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's what I do. But anyway. Here. We're gonna talk about understanding enclosures and port area, and that's why I face the box this way, so y'all have this port area to go off of. This is an aerial port. Some people don't consider it aerial port because they say it doesn't have the flare to screw down. But an aerial port generally means circular port. That flare does not, some people say that flare enables you to get away with smaller volume. Maybe in home theater subs, but I'm not gonna say that's the case in cardio. Some people say that with an aerial port, you can get away with, some people say 6 and 8, some school of thought say 8 or 10. I have learned, and some people in my school of thought that feel the same way I feel, that port area is port area. The same port area that you use with a slot port, 12 to 16, you should use that same amount of port area when you're using a aerial port. And I concur. I know it works. Port area to me is port area. Whether it's a slot or arrow makes no difference. The reason why I take that in consideration, look at the guys who have those mega system builds. And they have slot ports, basically, because they have from the A pillar or from the B pillar or from the C pillar. The hole, they have this big opening, this big slot. And they operate on a port area value too, but it's huge. There's a company, I forgot the guy's name, but it's an Asian guy. And his subs are DSS. Some people may know what I'm talking about on this page. Very high-end sub manufacturer. His subs are made here in the United States that I know of. He's not big.
Hey y'all. Come on over here.
He doesn't do a lot of advertising. He doesn't do a whole lot of advertising. But his subs perform. And one time I had to build an enclosure for someone. He had 2 12s. And with those 2 12s, he had me build an enclosure. And it was recommended the port area be 18 cubes, 18 square inches per cube. I had never in my, this is like 6 years ago, I had never in my life built an enclosure with 16 square inches of port, 18 square inches of port area per cube. I told the guy, I said, man, this is not gonna work. It's impossible. That's too much. That's greater than 16. That's too much port area for these subs. He told me, please build according to what this Asian guy was saying, who was the designer of these subs, DSS. Look them up. Look at the DSS Ethos 12. All right. So I did it. I built the enclosure. I used 18 squares of port area, and I tuned it with 18 squares of port area to 35 hertz. And I wanted to hear the subs play. So after he installed them, I say turn on. I built exactly what you told me to do. I built exactly what you told me to do, and I did it. And brother, they performed. They performed admirably. They went in. No chuffing whatsoever. So that's when I started studying port area in relation to port velocity, X max, or the subwoofer, and calculating based on the X max, the BL, what velocity, what port area would be good for a certain port. What port area would be good for a certain sub and a certain size enclosure with a certain amount of net volume. And that's when I came to that realization that the guy was right when he said, hey, throw all that port area stuff 12 to 16 inches out the door. That's just a general guideline to go by if you're a newbie. If you know how to build subwoofer enclosures, you know how to use the programs, you can pretty much use the port area that you deem is correct for the sub. Not any port area. You can use a port area that you deem is correct for the sub. All right.